They always say, she doesn't care, just move on. But what if I told you she cares? What if I told you her silence is not confidence, but uncertainty, or even fear? She may not be ignoring you because she is over it. Instead, she could be holding back, watching to see if you're still emotionally hooked, still reacting, still playing along. And the moment you respond the wrong way, you confirm what she expects. But that game can stop today. If you are watching this, it likely means you are tired of being pulled into emotional games. You are done investing energy into someone who feeds off your reactions. And now, you are about to understand how silence, intentional, controlled, and strategic, can become a powerful move. This is about changing the dynamic. It is about making the woman who hurt you question her actions while you walk away with your confidence, self-respect, and dignity intact. And this goes beyond relationships. It applies to life in general, how you handle pressure and challenges. Ultimately, it all comes down to how you respond when someone tries to provoke a reaction from you. So pay attention, because once you understand it, you will stop chasing validation from anyone. Every day, people fall into the same cycle. Someone they care about becomes distant, and suddenly their thoughts are consumed, constantly checking their phone, replaying conversations, and analyzing every detail and silence. And almost every time, they respond exactly as expected, they react emotionally. That's where the problem lies. Many modern relationships revolve around subtle power dynamics. The moment you react impulsively, you lose control. The moment you chase, your perceived value drops. And when you show how deeply someone's absence affects you, you give them the upper hand. That is why the most composed and effective individuals, in relationships, business, and life, don't react immediately. They observe, they think, and they adjust. And when faced with manipulation or games, they often choose one response that changes everything. They remain silent. And that is exactly what this video is all about. Number 1, she is waiting for you to react. She starts to pull back, replying late, acting distant, becoming cold and unavailable. Where there used to be good morning texts and easy plans, now there is silence and excuses about being busy. Yet she doesn't disappear completely. She still views your stories and still makes subtle appearances, making sure you notice she is out enjoying herself and looking her best. All of this has a purpose. She is watching for your response, waiting for that moment you lose composure and ask what is wrong. The moment you do, you give her exactly what she was looking for. Because once you react, she knows she still has influence over you. It reassures her that she has not lost your attention, which allows her to keep testing your boundaries, how much distance you will tolerate and how long it takes before you break. And most men do break. They constantly check their phones, replay conversations in their heads, and search for mistakes they might have made. Fear kicks in, the idea that if they don't act quickly, they will lose her for good. So they reach out. They send multiple messages. They ask if she is fine. Sometimes they even apologize without knowing what for. This doesn't earn respect, it simply confirms her expectations. And once she sees it, her interest often fades. When a woman behaves this way, it usually means she hasn't fully made up her mind about you. She is still evaluating, still testing whether you rely on their attention for your sense of worth. The moment you show that you do, the dynamic changes, and not in your favor. Now she pulls back even more. Because you have revealed that her presence holds power over you and that without it, you feel unsettled. And women are not attracted to men who depend on them for stability, they are attracted to men who remain grounded either way. She may believe she understands how this will play out. She may expect you to chase, to prove yourself, to try pulling her back. But when you don't, when you stay composed, hold your ground, and don't react, that is when something changes on her side. She begins wondering. That uncertainty is what disrupts her confidence. It makes her reconsider her action. Did I misread him? Is he actually moving on? Did I just lose someone valuable? And that doubt can shift the dynamic entirely. But here is the part many men miss: by the time that realization happens, everything has already changed. Because the version of you she was testing, the one who would have chased or folded under pressure, is no longer there. Number 2, your silence takes away her control. Silence can be unsettling. It forces people to sit with their thoughts, which is why so many try to avoid it through constant noise, distractions, or social media. When you choose silence, you place her in that exact position, left alone with her own thoughts. She expected you to chase her, to keep showing your interest. But now, the roles begin to change. Instead of you checking your phone, she is the one looking for signs. She revisits old conversations, replays your last interaction, and tries to pinpoint when she lost influence over you. On the surface, she may act unaffected, posting pictures, going out, appearing happy and carefree. But underneath, she is watching closely, waiting to see if you will respond, if her actions still have an effect on you. When nothing comes, no message, no reaction, that is when uncertainty turns into panic. Suddenly, she is the one feeling the lack of control. The same expectation you once felt while waiting for her replies becomes her experience. The same doubts you had about her interest now cross her mind about you. That discomfort is often what pushes her to reach out again. But this is where many men slip up. She might send a simple, casual message, something neutral like checking in. It won't be emotional or apologetic, just enough to test whether you are still available. Many men take this as a sign to jump back in, replying instantly and trying to revive the connection. That reaction gives everything away. A quick, eager response reassures her that she still has access to you. And once she gets that confirmation, she may pull away again, because her goal wasn't necessarily to reconnect but to validate her influence. That's why sometimes the strongest move is restraint. If she genuinely wants to return, her effort will be clear and consistent, not just a vague message. Until then, maintaining your silence keeps the dynamic in your favor. Over time, that silence builds uncertainty, and uncertainty can lead her to chase you instead. But here's the shift that matters most: by the time she is ready to chase, you have already changed. You are no longer seeking her approval. You have redirected your focus toward your own growth, your own stability, and your own confidence. And when she finally recognizes your value and tries to prove herself, she may find that you've already moved on. At that point, she isn't chasing you anymore, she is chasing who you used to be. Number 3, she begins to doubt herself. At first, she believed she had endless time. In her mind, you would always be there, waiting, hoping, ready to respond the moment she showed even a hint of interest. She thought that no matter how distant she became or how many tests she put you through, your presence was guaranteed. Then your silence changes everything. What starts as a faint thought, "Why hasn't he reached out?" quickly grows into something deeper. Curiosity turns into tension. Tension turns into doubt. And eventually, that doubt becomes fear, fear that she misjudged the situation, that she overestimated her control, that she may have lost something valuable. She has used predictable patterns. She expects that when she pulls back, you will chase harder, try to fix things, or prove yourself. But instead, you did the opposite. You stepped back completely, leaving her with uncertainty. And uncertainty is powerful. When there are no clear answers, the mind fills in the gaps. It is why people obsess over unanswered messages or unfinished stories. Now she is the one searching for clarity. She starts paying closer attention, checking your social media, noticing changes, wondering what you are doing and who you are becoming. Even if she doesn't openly engage, she's observing and thinking. As your silence continues, her confidence starts to weaken. Even the people who once told her that you will come back may begin to question that assumption. The longer you remain unaffected, the clearer it becomes, you're no longer dependent on her. And that realization terrifies her. She replays past moments, analyzing conversations and interactions, trying to figure out where things changed. Over time, she may come to a difficult conclusion, that she underestimated you and took your presence for granted. This internal doubt doesn't stay hidden, it begins to show in subtle actions. She may test the waters, small gestures like liking an old post, sending a casual message, or finding indirect ways to get your attention. These aren't always genuine attempts to reconnect, but rather ways to see if she still has access to you. Many men misread this. They see these small signals and assume it means everything has changed. They respond quickly, thinking it is a second chance. But in doing so, they reveal that they are still waiting, and that's often all she needs to confirm. Because sometimes, it's not about rebuilding the connection, it's about reassurance. That's why it's important to recognize the difference between real effort and minimal gestures. Genuine interest is clear, direct, and consistent. It doesn't hide behind vague messages or small hints. Until that kind of effort appears, maintaining your distance keeps the dynamic unchanged. And more importantly, it shifts your focus back where it belongs, on your own growth. While she's caught in uncertainty, trying to make sense of the situation, you're moving forward, investing in yourself, your goals, and your progress. By the time she fully processes what happened, by the time she is ready to set aside her pride and be honest, you may already be in a completely different place. Not waiting. Not hoping. Just moving on.